This is Jonathan Cahn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. When you look at what's happening in the world, it's easy to wonder what's going on, and are things out of control? Is this what the Bible foretold? Is the end near? What do I need to know about the future? Where's it all going? How can I be prepared? What is God's prophetic word for the hour and for me? On this channel, you're going to find prophetic updates, the mysteries of God, daily words for life, biblical revelation, prophetic teachings, and much more. I pray it's going to be a great blessing to you in the days ahead. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time there's a new video that's posted. Leave a comment as to how God is blessing you. And don't forget to share these videos with friends who need to hear them. Thanks again, and God bless you. Shalom.
What if I told you that the God of heaven has marked a day on your calendar, June 15, 2025, not just as another sunrise, but as a turning point in your life? What if this was the day heaven waits for you to rise up, to step into a moment of divine convergence? God doesn't waste time, and He never wastes a day. So if He is drawing your attention to June 15, then something supernatural is at hand. This is not just a date, it is an appointment, a doorway, a scroll waiting to be unsealed. The question is, will you be ready? A divine appointment is not just a date, it's a destiny. God works in appointed times. All through the scriptures, there were days that seemed ordinary to man, but were extraordinary in heaven. The day David met Goliath, the day Moses stood at the Red Sea, the day Esther approached the king, these were more than events. They were divine appointments. June 15 is not random. It is assigned. You've been walking toward it even without knowing it. What you sow on this day will determine your season. Just as the farmer must sow in the right season, the Spirit is saying this day is fertile ground. Every decision, every act of obedience, every word of life you speak on this day is a seed that will not die. It will enter the soil of heaven and return in multiplied form. This is a kairos moment, a window of opportunity where your choices will shape your future. Heaven is watching how you move through the doorway. There are some doors you walk through and others you must be bold enough to cross with trembling faith. June 15 is not just an open door, it's a testing ground. Will you trust the leading of God or be paralyzed by fear? Heaven is watching, not with judgment, but with expectation. The angels are stationed. The atmosphere is prepared. God is waiting to see what you do next. Let me take you to ancient Jerusalem. There were days when a prophet would come with a word. Many ignored him, but those who listened, who aligned, became part of the eternal story. I met a man last year who told me God had spoken to him about a particular day. He fasted, he prayed. That day his life shifted. Business doors opened. Relationships healed. Why? Because he didn't treat a divine appointment like a casual moment. He leaned in, and heaven responded. Esther had a moment like that. One day, just one, when she stepped into the court of the king. Had she missed that day, a nation would have perished, but she made her day count. So how do you make June 15 an important day? Wake up before the noise, before your phone, before the demands. Go into the secret place. Ask God, what do you want me to do today? Write the vision. Don't just think. Declare. Take out a journal and begin to write what you believe God is saying. Make declarations over your family, your health, your future. Sow a seed of action. Help someone. Bless someone anonymously. Send that apology. Forgive that person. Don't wait. Move. Make one bold move toward what scares you. That call, that plan, that ministry idea. Take a step. God meets motion with miracles. Speak life into your world. Say what God says, not your fear, not your circumstance. Say, today is holy. Today is marked. Today I walk in divine destiny. June 15th, 2025 is not just a calendar date in the eyes of heaven. It is a divine appointment, a moment that has been whispered in eternity long before you even stepped into this year. God doesn't operate in randomness. He orchestrates time with purpose. When he points to a day, it's not just about what is happening externally, it's about what is being prepared spiritually. You are standing before something sacred, and the Lord is calling you not just to acknowledge it, but to prepare for it. There are days when heaven leans close, when the veil between the natural and the supernatural thins. This is one of those days. June 15th has been set apart, not because it is inherently holy, but because God has breathed on it. And when God breathes on a day, everything that happens within it carries eternal weight. Many people miss divine appointments, not because they are evil, but because they are distracted. The enemy doesn't always need to destroy your life. He only needs to make you overlook a day that was meant to unlock your purpose. God is speaking not through thunder and lightning, but in the still whisper of preparation. He is saying, I have given you a window. Do not waste it. You don't need another year to change your life. Sometimes all you need is one day, one act of obedience, one word of surrender, one yes to the voice of the Spirit. And that day could be June 15. The Bible is filled with moments like this, where one day changed everything. Abraham left his homeland on one day. Ruth decided to follow Naomi on one day. Jesus was baptized on one day. Heaven marks moments like these, and your obedience activates their power. But God is also revealing a deeper truth about this day. It is not only a divine appointment, it is also a divine opportunity to sow. What you do on this day will not remain in the day. It will go ahead of you into your weeks, your months, your years. Every prayer you lift up, every seed you sow, every step of faith you take will echo beyond the hours of June 15th. The Lord is inviting you to become intentional. Your time, your attention, your words, they are seeds. And in the realm of the Spirit, what you sow is not just given back, it's multiplied. This is why you cannot treat this day as ordinary. You must ask the Lord, what should I sow today? And not just in money, but in attitude, in words, in kindness, and courage. The law of sowing and reaping was not just meant for farmers. It is a spiritual law, and it is alive on this day. When you choose to act in obedience rather than delay, when you give generously instead of holding back, when you speak life instead of complaining, you are planting destiny. And in due season you shall reap if you do not give up. There are people who have been waiting for a shift in their life, but they are missing the moment because they're not planting anything. They are praying for harvest without sowing. But the Lord is saying, I am giving you a chance to change your future, and it begins with what you choose to do today. Heaven is watching how you respond. You are being handed a seed in your hand. Will you bury it, or will you plant it in faith? Will you squander the opportunity, or will you water it with tears, prayer, and expectation? The time to sow is now. The field is ready. The hour has come. And what you sow on June 15, you will see again, not just in one way, but in multiplied form. Blessings come to those who act in divine timing. God is not asking for perfection. He's asking for obedience. He's not demanding miracles. He's asking for faith. Because when you sow faith, God releases miracles. When you sow obedience, God opens doors. When you sow praise, God shifts atmospheres. This day carries weight, and what you do with it could determine the course of everything that follows. There are moments in life when heaven observes in silence, waiting to see how you will respond to the invitation set before you. June 15th, 2025 is one of those moments. It is not only a day to receive, but a day to respond. A day when your movement becomes a message to the throne of God. Heaven is not passive in these moments. It is attentive. The Lord is watching, not with harshness, but with the tender gaze of a father who longs to bless his children, who waits for his sons and daughters to step into alignment. There is something about how you approach this day that will either open or delay the next chapter of your life. It is not just about what you pray, it is about how you walk. The steps you take will be noticed and they will count. This day is not hidden, it is illuminated. It is a platform where spiritual decisions will have visible consequences. The eyes of heaven are upon the faithful, not just the perfect or the strong, but the willing. The ones who dare to trust when logic says wait, who choose to act when fear says stop. This is not the time to hesitate. The Spirit is saying this is the hour to move. It is the bold who inherit promises. When Peter stepped out of the boat, he was not responding to safety. He was responding to the voice of the Lord. And in the same way, God is calling you to step out. June 15 is the boat. The wind may blow, but the command is still come. If you stay in comfort, you may miss what God was about to do. If you delay, the door may not stay open. This is a day of testing, of weighing, of discerning. You will feel the pull. One direction toward hesitation, the other toward obedience. And the way you respond will declare your faith. But there is something deeper still. This is not just a day for spiritual recognition. It is a day of alignment. And alignment determines destiny. On this day, the Lord is setting things in place, not only around you, but within you. He is calling you to be in sync with His purpose, His timing, His voice. You cannot walk in alignment while holding hands with confusion. You cannot move forward while clinging to disobedience. Something must be released in order for something greater to be received. The Spirit is saying, let go of what no longer fits this season. There are relationships, thoughts, habits, and distractions that must be cut off for alignment to take place. This is not about perfection, but about positioning. A car doesn't have to be perfect to drive, but it does need to be aligned. If it's out of alignment, even a short journey becomes a struggle. The same is true for your life. If you are out of alignment, the journey will wear you down. God is offering you a divine adjustment on this day. You are being invited to bring your heart back into His will, your mind into His truth, your steps into His rhythm. When you align with heaven, acceleration begins. Doors that were stuck begin to swing open. Delays break, confusion lifts, miracles find you, not because you chased them, but because you were in the right place at the right time. But the warning is just as clear. This day is not neutral. If you do not move forward, you will begin to drift backward. There is no standing still in the Spirit. You are either being drawn into destiny or drifting from it. God is calling you to make a choice. Will you step into the current of His will, or will you cling to comfort and miss the wave? This day is a fork in the road. One direction leads to divine momentum, the other to spiritual delay. And delay is not denial, but it does cost time. Every delayed act of obedience comes with a price. But today, mercy is calling. Grace is extended. The invitation still stands. Align yourself, and the blessings will follow. June 15 is not only marked by God's presence, it is shaped by your decision. Heaven is not forcing you. It is beckoning you. God is not shouting. He is whispering, come into alignment. This day is about readiness, positioning, obedience. The Lord is clearing the path for those who walk with Him and removing obstacles that have blocked the way for too long, waiting on God. He is waiting on you. Your move will set things in motion. Heaven has drawn near. Now it's your turn. Before the sun rises and the world stirs, there is a moment, a sacred silence, when heaven leans in close. It is in that quiet space that God speaks most clearly. On June 15th, 2025, the Lord is calling His people into that hidden place before the day begins, before the distractions multiply, before the noise of the world steals your focus. He is saying, seek me before the morning ends. There are instructions, secrets, and breakthroughs reserved for those who will rise early, not out of religious duty, but out of hunger. In the early morning hours, you step into divine clarity. It is there that your spirit aligns with His will, where your steps are ordered not by guesswork, but by revelation. This day is pregnant with purpose, but it must be unlocked in the secret place. Those who remain in bed, spiritually unaware, will walk through this day like it's ordinary. But those who rise to seek His face will see the extraordinary unfold. There is a mystery hidden in obedience. Sometimes the smallest act, getting up early to pray, reading a scripture before sunrise, whispering a simple, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening," can shift everything. The Lord doesn't need long speeches or perfect prayers. He responds to availability. When you come before Him in the stillness, heaven opens. There is a heavenly scroll with your name on it, waiting to be unsealed. But it will not be opened among the crowd. It will be opened in the secret place. This is the invitation being extended on June 15. Come before the noise, before the text messages, before the pressure. Those who seek early will find what others miss. Their ears will be tuned to the frequency of heaven. Their eyes will begin to see beyond the natural. Their steps will be filled with divine direction. But this day is not only about hearing, it is about speaking. What you declare on June 15 will carry unusual power. God is giving His people a window of prophetic authority, a moment when words spoken in faith will echo through realms. It is not enough to think good thoughts or hope for better days. The Lord is saying, speak it, declare it, release it into the atmosphere. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. And on this day, your words are not just words. They are tools of construction. They will build or tear down. They will bind or loose. Heaven has authorized you to speak as one who carries the authority of the King. When you open your mouth with faith, angels respond, demons flee, doors begin to unlock. But be warned, careless words carry consequences. Complaints and curses spoken on a day like this can build walls instead of bridges. That is why the Lord is instructing you to guard your tongue like a gate. Let no bitterness, doubt, or fear be released. Speak what God says. Speak blessing, even when your emotions pull you elsewhere. Speak healing, even when pain still lingers. Speak breakthrough, even when the situation looks unchanged. For the Lord has said, what you declare in faith, I will establish. What you decree according to my word, I will honor. This is the kind of authority that shaped the universe, and now it is being entrusted to you. There are destinies hanging in the balance, waiting for a word. There are promises that have been delayed, not because they were denied, but because the people of God never opened their mouths to claim them. June 15 is a day to speak what God has promised. You must call things that are not as though they were. You must open your mouth and release the will of God into the earth. He is waiting to perform His word, but He is looking for a voice. Will it be yours? So rise early, enter the secret place, and listen. Then step into the day and declare. Call your family blessed. Speak over your finances, your ministry, your dream. Release the sound of heaven from your lips, for this is not a normal day. This is a day of divine activation, and your voice will make the difference. The heavens are listening. The earth is waiting. The Spirit is ready. Now speak, declare, align, and watch what God establishes through you. June 15th, 2025 will come and go for most people like any other day. But for those who heed the call, who recognize the divine moment, it will become a monument in time, a day that changes everything. The Lord is not just inviting you, He is summoning you. You are being called to rise, to war in the Spirit, to create the future with your choices. And if you move in obedience, this day will not just bless you, it will bless generations after you. The scroll is unrolling, the clock is ticking, and heaven is asking, what will you do with June 15?